So good afternoon and good morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Hu. I'm the Business Development Manager at the Dark Ranger in Networks. So thank you, everyone, for attending our today's webinar. It's a great pleasure to meet you again. So today, I would like to discuss a topic related to the public transport IT system. Specifically, I will introduce a newly developed IT architecture called IT4PT. We will explore how this framework is bringing innovations to the traditional public transport IT system, and which critical role does one of the most important components, the Well Communication Gateway, plays. Well, I need to clarify that this webinar is not sponsored by the IT4PT organization. But as a part of member, we do see the huge benefits and would like to share from our model suppliers' standpoint to what's our thinking and what's our insight. Okay, so I will start now. Okay, so public transport plays a very critical role in our daily lives. As IT technologists involved, there is an increasing number of models adding integrated to the public transport IT system to help operators and passengers meet various needs. For example, this includes the ticketing machine for the entry validation, the destination display for the location update, and also the onboard cameras for the safety, and also a lot of other models you can notice from this system. Over time, this has led to a development of a quite unique and complex IT onboard system. Well, however, with the adding of more and more models, significant challenges have emerged. So the first challenge is that these models are all coming from different suppliers, each using their standards with different protocols that are very hard to compatible with each other. So this forces operators to heavily rely on the proprietary solutions from our single supplier. Also, adding a new models become much more difficult as integration with the existing IT system is complex and managing it efficiently is very challenging. And furthermore, each device has its own wiring systems, and also there are too many functions overlapped, leading to a very redundant system with a lot of unnecessary devices and cables. So this also complicates the installation and the maintenance work. So as you might say, there are so many challenges for this current traditional IT system. People will definitely think about whether we could have a solution to simplify the whole structure or even a plug-and-play solution. So what if we could establish a unifying the IT structure that all parties could follow? Such a structure would greatly make the entire system far more efficient. So the devices, regardless of which manufacturer it is, will be easy to communicate with each other smoothly. And also, this approach will result in the IT system to be more flexible and to be more cost efficient and also easy for you to manage. So that's the whole idea behind the IT4PT. And then it comes this IT4PT architecture. So I guess you might heard of the name before. But what exactly is IT4PT? So it is an architecture for interoperability designed by a community of IT suppliers like us, and wealth manufacturers, transport authorities, and public transport operators from all over the world. So it's a recommendation, but not a mandatory requirement. Everyone come to based on the industry standards and the best practice to draw from the real world implementation and projects and to give good suggestions to the whole community. So beyond being an architecture, IT4P is also a community where all the shareholders can share the experience and collaborate and creating standards. So here we're very proud also we are a member of this community. And also IT4PT is a label and to give the devices which pass the related certification in lab. So now you might have an idea what IT-40 is and which benefits it can bring for this whole IT system. So let's dive deeper into how that system works. So the core of the IT-40 is the IT architecture for public transport, which aims to address and standardize these 4 key areas. The specification 1, the installation requirements, it sets standards for vehicle installations and hardware models. And second one is the onboard architecture. It defines the architecture of functional boards within the vehicles and which service it can provide. And specification 3 is the back office architecture for the control center. And the fourth one is over-the-air architecture for the communication protocol. So as a hardware manufacturer, today we will focus on the first 2 areas, the installation requirements and onboard architecture, to provide insights most relevant to our expertise. Okay, so according to the IT-40 specification, building an IT-40 onboard architecture requires 2 key components. The first one is the onboard installation requirements, and second is the onboard architecture specification. So for the first one, it defines different rules for the installation onboard. The vehicles, for example, shall have at least the onboard backbone IP networks, different interfaces, and also it needs the Ethernet switch, which maintains Ethernet plug, and also are very important the component, the vehicle communication gateway. And for the second part, the onboard devices are defined by 9 key services that need to be followed if the models plan to use this service. But one point is that not all services are necessary for a retrofit project. Just some of them are needed as minimum. So it might be a little bit abstract to understand the whole logic. So next, I will take the Web Communication Gateway, WCG, as an example, and then it will be easy for you to understand how this structure works. Okay, so from this diagram, you can see that the Web Communication Gateway, WCG, is at the core of the entire networks, connecting 4 types of different networks on board. The first one is the most important one, the IP network. So the WCG uses Ethernet ports to connect IP devices such as the CCTV, the passenger display, the ticketing machines, and more. Yeah. If additional ports are needed, then Ethernet switch will be added to extend the connectivity. And second one is the CAN network. The WCG connects the fleet management data, FMS data, from the vehicle CAN bus using the FM standards. So this includes data from the vehicles like the gyroscope or accelerometer, primarily for monitoring vehicle performance and the driver behavior for the fleet management purpose. And the third one is the Wi-Fi network, and WCG provides the connectivity for the passengers' devices, enable them to connect to the internet during their journey. And the last one is the wireless network. The WCG established the external communication through wireless connections, ensuring a very smoothless data exchange beyond the vehicle. So these 4 components will form the fundamental function of the WCGs as outlined in the IT-40 specification. However, WCG can definitely do more things. For example, it is programmable and the application. So directly at the edge, it can perform different protocol conversion. It can run your own application at the edge. And so it can support additional advanced functions. Well, now you have a basic understanding of what does the WCG plays. Let's have a look about the installation requirements outlined in S01, the first requirement. So to address the challenges of current complex installation rules, the IT4PD specification aims to simplify the whole process. So the goal is to very clear. We shall definitely ensure that the most models will be easily, quickly assembled and disassembled. And also the mechanical coding is preferred so that we can easily recognize them. And also different cables wires shall have the same installation rules to be easily installed. Well, to verify that these models comply with the standards, then a certified products will be awarded with IT4P label. So when an operator choose different models, they see the label, they can just choose it directly to their systems. And then the most critical part of the S01 is the interfaces. So as shown in this table, you can see the power supply, the audio and aux connectors are using the MCP connectors with different pin configurations. So this one is recommended for these types of connection. And then for the wireless connection, like the GPS, like the VLAN, then the Fakra connectors are preferred choice for reliability and performance. Here you can see also different color represent different meaning for different types of wireless connection. And the last one, I think also is very important one is M12 connectors for the Ethernet connection. It is strongly recommended because most of the critical and frequent, it is the most frequently and critical used connectors in the IP network. And M12 connectors are already proven to be more reliable and robust compared to the RG45 connectors. Well, but one thing here I want to mention that during the transition phase, RG45 connectors are also permitted if specific legacy models require them. So it's not a mandatory, that's nice to have. Well, the standardization of these interfaces ensures the compatibility of different models to work easily. So this can install and simplify the whole installation as well. So with the installation requirements for the interface covered, the next one is the fixation. So on the welcome side, you can see the IT4PT requires that the welcome manufacturer shall reserve enough space for the suppliers to hold the ITS models, and this can ensure efficient use of space and easily model integration. And on the IT model side, enclosures shall comply with specific design rules. For example, here I showed our WIDGE 840 panel to see how does it follows these guidelines. So different connectors are arranged in different locations. So this allowed all these models can be easily assembled and disassembled. So a real plug and play solution. Okay, so in addition to the requirements for interface and fixation, so IT4PD also recommends that compliance with certain ISO, IEC, ECE, or EN standards. These standards cover various aspects of the automotive environment, including the electrical, the mechanical, the chemical, the fire, like all here I mentioned in this table. However, it is important to note that these recommendations are not mandatory as well, but they are considered to be nice to have and to further enhance the compatibility and reliability in our automotive environment. Okay, so after discussing their installation requirements, let's move to the second part of the IT4PT structure. So while we are talking about IT4PT, the focus is primarily as onboard networking. So as I introduced earlier, the VCG plays a very central role in this whole structure. So now I think it's much easier for you to understand this diagram. So IT4PT defines three networks. First one is mandatory one. It is onboard backbone IP network. This one connects various IP models, so enabling them to achieve different functions inside the vehicle. And the second one is onboard passenger IP network. This network connects passengers and personal devices to the work IP network, so ensuring them to connect to the internet during their journey. And the last one is the onboard convey IP network. So this network allows communication between vehicles supporting inter-vehicle operations. So previously you can see the networking is so complicated, but now it's just been simplified to 3 simple networks. So these are the foundation of the IT4PT onboard structure. And then under this structure, IT4PT defines 9 core services. So you can see from this table, it includes the inventory, time, GNSS, FMS to IP, vehicle to IP, AVMS, APC, MATT, and MQTT broker. So to support these services, IT4PT specifies service delivery protocols and data exchange protocols. And this table also shows you the SR record formats for IT4PT services. And one point is that these services are not mandatory for each models. For a different model, it needs different service, and they just choose their related services. But the first one is mandatory, others are all optional. Well, since this very technical things and related to software part, I won't go deep today. But however, if you have any questions or any specific topic you are interested in this part, you are welcome to contact us after the webinar. Okay, so once your models are designed in compliance with IT4PT rules discussed earlier, so you can submit application to obtain the IT4PT label from the certification lab. So this lab serves as a proof that your products are in compliance with the IT4PT structure. And so, for example, here, our WG17 and WG814 has already passed the certificate process, and it obtains the IT4PT label. And also you can check them and the catalog of the IT4PT website. Okay, so talking so much about IT4PT standards and the specifications, let's then talk about some in-hand networks, our products. I think it's a very good case that I can explain you more about how does we follow the IT4PT standards to design our products. And this is a good showing case. So these slides, I showed our WG814 interfaces, the road version. And so you can see basically it covers 4 networking features. The first one, IP networking, it has 4 M12 SNET interfaces for IP devices connection. And also we are here auxiliary interfaces for the I/O series interface connection to support the long IP devices with welcome to IP services. So you see here, you can know how does a welcome to IP service combined with the installation requirement. Okay, the second part is the CAN network. It has the M12 standard CAN FMS port interface for data connection. And third one, for the Wi-Fi networking, it supports the 2.5 gigahertz on the 5 gigahertz dual band Wi-Fi. And then the last one for the wireless connection, it was both 4G and 5G version. And here are the connectors. Also, it has the GNSS functions. Okay, so besides following the IT4PT recommendation, we also have done the ISO ECE R118 in 45545 and eMark, and for the WG814, it's also programmable, supporting Docker, so you can run your own application directly and VSG to help you handle the data at the edge. Okay, so except for the bus version, so we also have one special version for railway, the tram, train, or subway. Well, for the connectors, it's quite special here. We use TNC connector because they are proven to be more reliable in the railway environment and are required most of the time required there. Also, it's a non-standard IP4PT requirement, but also it is a recommendation. Okay, so then for the service part, you can see that for our WIG 814, it only meets some of the services and certified. For the AVMS, APC, MADT, they are not the services related to the WCG, so we don't do the certification process. But so basically, you can see it is fully compliant with IT4PT defined service. And next one, another IT4PT compliant product is the WG710. So it offers same networking functionalities as WG814, including the IP networking, CAN network, Wi-Fi and wireless networking. So however, you might notice that its interfaces are not fully aligned with IT4PT standards. Like here we use RG45 and SMA connectors. So how does it qualify as IT4PT? So here I want to mention the previous what I've talked. IT4PT defines an ideal framework where all parties follow the standards rules to achieve a very efficient system. But in practice, I would say that fully compliant with standards are very hard and very challenging, especially for some retrofit projects. So to solve this issue, IT4PT also allows that for a transition phase, during which that some alternative interfaces or even adapters can be used. For example, here we used RG45 connectors, and this flexibility means that it can also be used for some as a solution for retrofit project while still maintaining the IT4PT certification. Okay, so compared with the WIG 814, in IT4PT service, WIG 17 doesn't support the welcome to IP function, which is optional, not a mandatory. Okay, so in order to further align with IT4PT structure, then we have updated our WIG 17 to be a further compliant IT4PT standards version. So today, I'm also very excited to introduce this of our new product, WIG 17 M12 version. So compared with the existing WIG 17, you can see it's more IT4PT compliant. It has 4 M12 SN ports, and also we use the BRCA connectors for the wireless connection. So here I would like to show you a small video that can highlight these features. Just wait a minute.
In today's connected world, public transport systems rely on a variety of devices for seamless operation. So how do you efficiently collect data and streamline fleet management? Introducing the VG710M, your all-in-one connectivity solution for onboard systems. Equipped with multiple M12 interfaces, the VG710M ensures stable and reliable connectivity for diverse vehicle systems. Its advanced GNSS provides robust interference resistance and precise positioning, even in complex environments. With integrated vehicle diagnostic monitoring, the VG710M enables efficient FMS management, keeping your fleet operations optimized. Supporting Python, C, C++, and Docker, the VG710M allows for custom development to meet your unique project needs. And with Device Live, you can easily monitor and manage the VG710M remotely, anytime, anywhere, with complete control. Backed by global and industry certifications, the VG710M is ready for deployment in your fleet projects now, enhancing public transport connectivity for the essentials. For more information, visit inhand.com.
Sounds very interesting, right? And so by updating these interfaces, you can see here, we are much closer to align with the IT4PT original regulations. And for this one, we also have 4G and 5G version available. And if you have any interest, you can feel free to reach to our local distributor partners to try a unit for testing. And after discussing the products and standards, let me then share you a real world case where the IT4PT standards were applied. So this was a project we have met, and it is a retrofit project in Rome region. So the bus operator have been running their fleet for more than 10 years, and most of the onboard IT systems were outdated and require an upgrade. So their key requirements that 5G connection, for sure, for fast data transmission, accurate location data in real time to provide the passenger more accurate schedule information. Also, they needed the connection for a lot of onboard cameras and passenger counters to monitor the passenger behavior. And also they needed the FM's data to connection to track the driver and bus behaviors during the journey. And the last one, they require a fast installation and replacement time to control the breakdown influence to the minimum. And since this bus manufacturer is an IT4PT member, they adapted an IT4PT-compliant architecture for this upgrade project and used our VG814 as a rail communication gateway. So which benefit did it bring? And you can see that now previously, each bus required at least 2 VCGs to handle data handling. But now by integrating the IT4PT requirements, it's only this one VCG in the bus to connect all the onboard devices, and all other unnecessary VCGs can be deleted, and we're simplifying the system and reducing the cost. And also, the IT4PT-Compliant allows the customer to upgrade the whole IT system easily, and then the replacement time has been greatly reduced around 50% compared with previously installation cases. And also, the customer have developed their own application and running using the Docker running in our VG840, and ask for the pre-installation of this firmware in our factory, which can also greatly save the time, and also it's some deployment time. So overall, this solution enables the customer to complete the retrofit project with less time and small budget, so achieving a very good future-ready system for their fleet. Okay, that's all about today's introduction about the IT4PT and what does a VCG plays. Well, just in case that some listeners that are not familiar with us, I spent 3 small slides to introduce what we are doing. And so for in-hand networks, we are IoT hardware providers founded in 2001. So until now, we have running in the market for more than 23 years, and we always focus on the hardware side. And until now, we have provided more than 3.4 million products deployed in more than 60 countries. And now we have 4 global centers around the world. And now I'm personally at our German office in Düsseldorf. We also have our APAC office in Beijing, and Canada office and US office. We have around more than 400 employees, but we are very proud that we have more than 1/3 R&D people. And also we have our very complete local distributor networks to ensure the efficient and accessible local support for local clients. Okay, and now we have 3 manufacturing centers, one in Jiaxing, the main one in Thailand, another in Toronto in Canada. And we also have 4 global warehouses, 7 production lines with very high flexibility, 3,000 units produced every day, and with also more than 18,000 square meter factory coverage. So you can see we're definitely one leader in the IoT hardware areas. Okay, I think that's all for our today's webinar. In the rest of time, I will give to you. If you have any questions, please, you can raise and I can check to reply. And if you are interested in any products, you are welcome to contact us or our distributors. Okay, thank you. And I will check whether anyone stops sharing and check whether anyone has any questions we can help you to answer. Okay, seems no questions. Seems that my presentation today is very clear. And later we will share the presentations and the recordings to you by emails. Thank you everyone for today's time. See you next time.